These hostages weren't freed, Pete. They were rescued. And whether Hamas wants to give them back or we go and get them back, either way, they're coming home. So stand by. You're going to see more of this, Pete. We didn't invent hostage rescue, Pete. The British SAS did, but we perfected it. Stand by. You're going to see some more magic. Stand by. What you just watched was me on Fox News with now Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth breaking down one of Israel's most incredible hostage rescue operations. This Yamam takedown, flawless execution, total dominance, and pure Israeli special operations precision. Why? Because they had real leadership at the top. No politics, no hesitation, just mission success to get those hostages back. And that's what happens when you have real warriors leading from the front. Now let's talk about what happens when you don't. General Mark Milley, the ultimate deep state general, just got exactly what he deserved. His security detail, gone. His legacy at the Pentagon, erased. Now there's about to be an investigation into whether he should be demoted in rank for betraying his commander-in-chief. Make no mistake, this is just the beginning. First off, I just want to get one thing straight here. Milley didn't just serve under Trump. He actively worked against him. And this is a general who thought it was his job to protect the country from the president. This is not how chain of command works.
Did you or did you not tell him that if we were going to attack, you would let him know?
As part of that conversation, I said, General Lee, there's not going to be a war. There's not going to be an attack between great powers. And if there was, the tensions would build up. There'd be calls going back and forth from all kinds of senior officials. I said, hell, General Lee, I'll probably give you a call, but we're not going to attack you. Trust me, we're not going to attack you. These are two great powers, and I am doing my best to transmit the president's intent, President Trump's intent, to ensure that the American people are protected from an incident that could escalate.
I understand your intent, but I think you articulating that you would tell him, you would give him a call, I think is worthy of your resignation. I just think that's against our country, that you would give our number one adversary that information and tell him that.
Now let's talk about the security detail Trump just revoked. Milley got Secret Service protection after retirement because Iran put a hit out on him over the Soleimani assassination back in 2020. If Milley had been an actual soldier doing his job, maybe I'd say he deserves to keep that protection. But Milley played politics, undermined his own boss, the president, and helped turn the Pentagon into a woke joke.
Secretary Hegseth has decided on his second day to immediately pull General Milley's security detail, though multiple threats on his life remain. Caroline Leavitt was asked today if the president would take responsibility if anything happened to those whose security he's pulled. The president has said former government officials can't have security forever. Hegseth also ordered a second Milley Army portrait removed from the Army halls and ordered the new acting inspector general to conduct a review board to potentially strip General Milley of a star in retirement for, quote, undermining the chain of command during President Donald Trump's first term.
And let's not forget, Trump just recently already pulled security from John Bolton, Mike Pompeo, two guys who are also on Iran's hit list. But unlike Milley, they weren't actively working against the administration. And Trump and Hegseth made the right call, in my opinion. Milley doesn't deserve special treatment. He's an absolute disgrace to the uniform. And Milley's betrayal of Trump is bad enough, but I want to look at the disastrous track record as a general. I want to talk about the Afghanistan withdrawal. Milley was part of a team that let 13 American soldiers get killed during Biden's botched pullout. I'm sure you guys all remember that. He even admitted he advised Biden to keep troops in place, but when Biden ignored him, the guy did nothing. Now I want to talk about some of his woke military nonsense. Instead of focusing on making the U.S. military a war-fighting machine, Milley spent his time pushing DEI initiatives, gender studies, and trying to turn recruitment videos into diversity campaigns. This is why recruiting numbers are at record lows. He also lied about his role on January 6th. Milley claimed he was just a bystander that day, but I want to say this. He was deeply involved in securing the Capitol. And afterward, he turned around and pretended like he had nothing to do with Trump. Total coward move. This guy wasn't just a bad general. He was a political operative. And that's exactly why Trump is erasing him from the Pentagon. Now let's talk about the darkest piece of all of this. Milley's secret back channel with China. And if you didn't know about this one, you want to listen up. So while Trump was in office, Milley made secret phone calls to his Chinese counterpart, General Li Zucheng. And in those calls, he promised to warn China if the U.S. ever launched an attack. Think about that. A top U.S. general giving advance warning to our biggest geopolitical enemy. Think about that. And if that's not treason, I don't know what is. And let me explain. Article 94 of the USMJ under mutiny and sedition covers undermining lawful authority and aiding an enemy. Article 104, aiding the enemy, communicating with a hostile foreign power without our authorization. Punishment, life in prison, or even death. And so here's where I'm at with all this. The fact that Milley walked away with a book deal and a full pension is an insult to every warfighter in America. The Aaron Cohen Show is sponsored by the Cherries Deep Concealment holster. This is the same holster I trained Keanu on for the John Wick franchise. This thing runs BWB, or below the waistband, means there is zero digging into your gut, and this holster will never fall off you because it runs below the waistband. Also, lightning fast draw with just a little bit of training. Hit the link down in the description to order one of these bad boys. They ship next day. Zero lead time with these things now. They ship next day. Lightning fast draw. Fits all double stacked 9 and 40 Glocks. Fully adjustable clip and ambidextrous lefties. You're covered. Hit the link down in the description. Grab one of these bad boys. And finally, carry with comfort and total concealment. Now what I want to do is I want to break down how bad this could have been. If China knew in advance that the U.S. might act, here's what they could have done. One, they could have repositioned their military assets to counter an attack. Two, launched a preemptive strike based on what Milley had told them. Three, put pressure on Taiwan or South China Sea, knowing the U.S. wouldn't act. And so in my professional opinion, Milley single-handedly weakened America's strategic position by telling the Chinese exactly what they wanted to hear. And now Trump is making sure there's consequences. Now I want to say this. I've done a bunch of hits with Pete Hegseth on Fox News throughout the years. And I like him, and I'm going to tell you why. Hegseth is exactly the guy that we need leading the Pentagon right now. He's not a bureaucrat. He's not a politician. He's a war fighter. And he's already doing what Milley never did. He's cleaning house. And the days of these woke generals and weak leadership are over. And this is about building a lethal, focused, war-ready military. We've got a ton of work over that border right now with Mexico we got to start getting lined up for. And Hegseth isn't going to stop at Milley. More purges are coming. So I want to close it out with this. This isn't just about Mark Milley. This is about restoring America's military, and Trump and Hegseth are making an example out of him. And I say good. We need warriors, not politicians. We need killers, not careerists. And if you don't like it, pack your bags, Skippy. You're next. Do me a favor, if you guys enjoyed this, drop a comment down below. And let me know what you guys thought of this. Share this video, like, subscribe. Keep that pressure on. Let's keep bringing that truth out. And do me a favor, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think I'm spot on with my assessment of Milley and the fact that Trump and Hegseth did exactly what needed to be done to clean house and get rid of this idiot? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm going to come back to these as more of these stories continue to develop as all this DEI continues to get pushed out of both the Pentagon, the military, our law enforcement assets. And I'm going to come back to this as more of these stories continue to surface. I think Trump and Hegseth and his team at the White House are doing an incredible job. The speed at which they're moving at is mind-blowing. And I salute every one of them right now, from Karen Leavitt, the press secretary, to Trump and Hegseth, to Mike Waltz, the national security advisor. His team has done more in 1 week than Biden, than their entire party has done the last decade. Hats off, I salute these guys. Also, if you guys are a fan of the show, do me a favor, help support the show by becoming a Season 1 sponsor. Hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a mini sponsorship package. They start at $25, helps keep the lights on in the studio. We're completely independently produced here, and help me to continue to combat that garbage anti-Israel and anti-Trump misinformation that's out there, and join my mission. Let's keep putting the fight out there and keep battling this garbage together. I'm Aaron Cohen. You're watching The Aaron Cohen Show, and I will catch you guys soon on the next one.